and Nadina helped hook this all up, but again, all the other leaders of this group, thank you all for allowing me the time to present. I've put together a presentation of Einstein versus Match My Email. I've really joined the Salesforce ecosystem 3 years ago, and I've been learning, that curve is kind of, you learn 90% really quickly, and then the last 10% is very slow to catch on. So I still have to learn a lot within that 10%. I feel like I understand the app. It took a good full year to get the vernacular down and make sure I was describing everything with the right vocabulary. But my focus is email integration. So tonight's discussion will be on Einstein Activity Capture and Match My Email. So let me share my screen, and I have a slide deck prepared. And I'll also be working a little bit out of a demo org that our company has set up. So the name of the presentation is The Clue is in Our Name, Straightforward Email Integration, Match My Email versus Einstein Activity Capture. To start, I'm going to look at Einstein, speak a little bit about the Salesforce suite of email integration products that are out there. So in this matrix, you can see there's really two different kinds of email integration products that Salesforce offers. One is mailbox integration. This is going to be a plugin in your email client. Salesforce works with anybody who's using Gmail or Outlook, either hosted on premises with Exchange or Microsoft 365. They offer a free tool for Outlook. It's called the Outlook integration, or a free tool for Gmail called Salesforce Gmail integration. This is going to be that side panel. It's a window into Salesforce from within your email client. Everything here is manual. If you need to create contacts, you can do that from within your email client. If you need to log emails, it's all going to be manual as well. Same goes for events. Then they have Salesforce Inbox, which I assume many of you have heard of before. And this is the paid Salesforce email integration tool. It is a free integration on steroids in a lot of ways. You're going to get some premium features like being able to input your calendar availability in emails you send out of your email client, and then some other integrations as well with that. And then the other version is Sync and Stream / Capture. And so this is the automation product suite that Salesforce offers. They have something called Lightning Sync, which I won't go into too much depth. I'll mention in just a second, but this is a calendar event and contact sync with Salesforce product. And then they have Einstein Activity Capture Standard. The Standard is their free version. I'll be referencing this quite a bit tonight. In this version, you get calendar events and emails and contacts synced with Salesforce. They also have a paid version of EAC. This is roped in with the Inbox license. So if you buy an Inbox license, you also get this paid Einstein Activity Capture version. This version, there's some benefits to which I'll discuss. Lightning Sync, we're not going to be focusing on that in the automation sync space, partially because Salesforce is phasing it out. So in winter 21, Salesforce will no longer be offering Lightning Sync for new customers. This is part of their shift towards Einstein Activity Capture. They actually phased out a legacy product. I think it was Salesforce for Outlook, more of a niche plugin, but that's gone. They've leaned out just towards these two free integrations, and then now they're phasing out Lightning Sync too. Another reason is, the app I work for, Match My Email, it focuses in automation. So my understanding and my knowledge base really centers around the automation tools that Salesforce offers. All right, so the technical behind Einstein, how is it working? Where's the data going? What does it look like in your Salesforce org? They're going to be able to integrate with Gmail, 365, or an Exchange server. This is not going to have any footprint within your email client. Everything is going to be happening in the background. They're going to process carbon copies of your email and then upload those copies that find matches to into AWS servers, separate from the servers where the rest of your Salesforce data is hosted. This is quite important when it comes to reporting and also when it comes to permanence of data. So the free standard version of Einstein, you're going to have access to those emails in your Salesforce org for only 6 months. You'll only be able to see emails that have synced within the past 6 months. If you have a Salesforce license under that Salesforce inbox umbrella license, they extend that up to 2 years for holding data. What you see in Salesforce is actually a virtual link to the data package, which is actually hosted on an AWS server separate for EAC. From that AWS server, they also offer something regarding reporting on emails, only for the paid Einstein activity capture. This is called Einstein Activity Metrics. EAC metrics, a lot of the people I speak to, a lot of the people that come to Match My Email are looking for better reporting. They're used to running standard Salesforce reports. They've gotten very good at it. And then now they're being pushed to a different reporting platform. This is separate from the rest of your data in Salesforce. So what the activity metrics focuses on is strictly just that, activity metrics. You get 3 filtration options based off of activity owner, activity type, and activity date. Outside of that, you can't filter off of any other data fields that you might find in Salesforce. Big drawback from the reporting with EAC's this activity metrics dashboard, is that for standard license users, you're only allowed to go back and report on data that has been uploaded within the past 90 days, and that's expanded to 180 days. So 6 months of permanence and then 90 days of reporting for standard, which is the unpaid version, and then 2 years of permanence and 180 days worth of reporting for the paid version. And this comes into a challenge when you want to, a cool example of a report that you might want to run is something like, let me look at all the accounts based off of a specific region. I'm from New York, so give it the tri-state area. What's the activity been on the accounts that I have in the tri-state area? You can't filter down to that level with Einstein's reporting.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Sure.
Was this so? Because I have not turned on Einstein. Is it so it completely captures emails differently than the existing way that we have emails? Like we have emails create activities or tasks, activities in Salesforce now, and I can do reporting on that, and you do contacts with activities, and therefore do what you're talking about. So you're saying it doesn't store it the same way at all?
No, it doesn't. But I would ask also, do you know which tool you use currently? Is it one of the free integrations? Is it Inbox or?
Well, the integration I have is with SalesLoft, but
okay.
but the data, but even besides that, even we're actually also using Salesforce for some of it because we have Service Cloud, and so Service Cloud, email to case, people email in, that gets created as a case and description, and then when you email back and forth, it stays with the activities on there. So that might be different. Maybe that's just a different, completely different thing than what you're talking about related to the contact.
Yeah, I think with SalesLoft, they do create tasks per each email. And so that is data that's stored on that same server, so you can generate a report in Salesforce off of it. Gotcha. And I don't want to say it with 100% confidence, but I think that it goes, that's the same for email to case as well, with other restrictions around which objects you can match emails to.
Yeah, if I looked at it right now, it'd just be like a normal activity. It'd just it'd show up like a regular activity does.
I'm fairly certain that they don't really create activities with EAC.
I see. Okay.
They're synthetically injecting the EAC event, the EAC record into the event stream, but it's not actually an activity, I think.
I gotcha. So this is different. That's what I was just double checking that. Yeah, because I was just like, this is weird. But okay. So because I have not turned on any EAC, so
yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I'm working with somebody now who uses the SalesLoft integration as well, and that data is stored on Salesforce, so you can run reports. Yeah. But with EAC, separate, different
Gotcha.
server. Data is not on the same Salesforce server as the rest of your data. So they built out this other, Einstein activity metrics to accommodate.
I wonder if that was. Sorry. Okay. I won't. I'm like, is that
No,
because they
no,
wanted
that's fine.
to save space or something? Do you think it's about saving space, data space? Because by doing it that way, I wonder why they did it that way.
It's a good question.
Hmm.
I think that you got to dig into some of the architecture of
Yeah.
the querying and how fast they can pull data and how much data they can store on a server and all that.
Usually all those things ends up being where they acquired it from.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Honest truth, right? I mean, they didn't build this on AWS as a stack. They acquired it.
Sure.
And it somehow, the fact that it's got an E in it, it somehow came up as a first application of the AI engine, learning engine. And so it just ended up being, and it somehow got tied up in Einstein reporting also. And so, you know how it is with Salesforce. Track the history sometimes and you can start to understand why it's implemented a certain way. But anyway, that's what.
Yeah. No, thank you. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but okay.
No.
That's good. Thank you for explaining all that. Because yeah, this is strange. I'm glad I didn't turn it on at the moment. All right.
Yeah. Which that's a good segue actually, because it gets stranger, right? It's like every email that's uploaded has a duplicative task that is also created when an email is uploaded. They have this email message object that they relate to the task. So they hide the task on the activity timeline and just show this email message object. This is called enhanced email on the activity timeline and looks like this. Probably looks familiar to what you're used to within Salesforce, but it causes a whole slew of nightmares for reporting. Other things in Lightning, it's stored on the activity timeline. If anybody out there is still using Classic, emails go to the activity history in a Classic record. Attachments are not accessible with EAC. This can be a big drawback for some companies. They do not upload any attachments with emails. The replying and the email composer stays the same. You still use Salesforce's email composer. You can reply all, reply, forward emails from these enhanced email message objects on the activity timeline. One major constraint, though, is that you can only match to one what ID record with enhanced email. So that's one account, that's one opportunity. If you have any custom objects in your org, that's one custom object. They can match to multiple who ID records, multiple leads, multiple contacts. Not compatible yet with mobile either. So no iOS nor Android. Setting it up. This can be a slight drawback. Terry, you probably have faced this, but with Einstein, my understanding is you can only have it set up on an org level if you're hosted with 365, where you can set up a service account. Otherwise, you're, as an admin, faced with having each end user go through an authentication wizard that'll get them set up with Einstein. For those 365 org level or service accounts, they use OAuth 2.0 to authenticate. And then kind of crossing over into the Match My Email space, which speak a little bit more knowledgeably about, I believe, would be how we set up, which is we can do it on the user level. And that would be creating IMAP connections, which is helpful because almost all email servers have an IMAP port, so we can integrate with any email server out there. And the other version would be on the org from an org level, and that's with anybody hosted on Google Workspace or 365 servers. And that is all happening from our control panel. So I have a slide deck here, but I think it'd be easier if I just jumped into the demo org to show exactly what I'm speaking about here. So that control panel is found on this Match My Email tab. We call it the Match My Email dashboard. With Einstein, you don't really know if anything's matched to Salesforce. You would have to go to a record to see if the email or the event is actually there. Match My Email, we have this dashboard where end users can go to see all of the emails and events that we've processed. And you can see we do process everything coming in and out. So that's the sent items folder and the inbox. Out of the box, you can check separate folders as need be. And those are differentiated by this icon here, whether it's an event or an account, an event or an email. But if we're processing everything, not everything really belongs in Salesforce. You're going to receive a lot and send a lot that is outside of the relevance of a Salesforce record. So we process it, and then if we find no attributes in the email or the event, we'll just give it the status no match. And this no match, we reprocess emails and process new emails on a 20-minute cycle. So any email we've previously processed will continue to reprocess for a 45-day window. And if we find a link, maybe you're creating a new lead after you've had an extensive conversation, we'll reprocess those old emails and upload everything to Salesforce that belongs on that new lead that you've created. You can also create a lead directly or a record directly from this dashboard here. You can pull the email up side by side and populate those fields. Digress a little bit here. I wanted to show that backend control panel for user setup. We integrate on the org level with Google Workspace and 365. That integration process is quite seamless. Once you have that integration formed, then it's just a matter of going into the users tab where you can see a list of all of your Salesforce licensed users. We smart match the license to the address that is associated with it in the domain we've integrated with. And so Salesforce admins really can go in on this backend and activate or deactivate users with the click of a button. Worth noting, a lot of people get frustrated with EAC because since the data is stored separately, if you were to deactivate a Salesforce license, the email data around that Salesforce license, any emails that person imported, they're all gone. If you were to leave EAC, those emails also are all gone. So with Match My Email, once we upload that data into your Salesforce server, it's there permanently unless you decide to get rid of it. Even if somebody leaves, you can deactivate them. You don't have to worry about your data disappearing. Big question we get is, well, if we were to leave Einstein, we're kind of have our hands locked because all of our email data would disappear. But we do offer a legacy email importing. So a lot of people who are switching from Einstein use us to import those old emails. But we also get a lot of people who are new to Salesforce and have maybe extensive email communication history in their previous CRM, and they need that data to be imported into Salesforce. We can do that for them. All right, so let's see. What happens when we match an email or an event? Well, Lightning, the great misnomer at times with the speed some pages load, but won't be terrible for me today. I have snuck in, I like to think cleverly, our promo for the $20 DoorDash gift certificate. So Dina, you can drop the link into the chat, but we have a landing page that we've built out for everybody to put in their email, and I'll send a $20 DoorDash gift certificate. So, well, I hope you're learning something and you're interested in the content. I call it the Twinkie, offering the Twinkie as well. But here you can see actually we upload in two ways. We can upload as an enhanced email, which is the exact same as what Einstein uploads as. The main difference being, though, the data is stored on the same server, so you can then report on it. But we also have built out our own custom object email messages. Let me jump into a different contact where we've uploaded some too. This is just based off of user feedback saying we need to match to multiple what ID records, or the user interface on the activity timeline gets crowded. We want emails to be broken out in a separate place. And so we've done that here. It's our own custom objects. You can put it anywhere on the Lightning record page that you think makes the most sense. But you have the sender in black text, and then you have the subject, which if you hover over, you'll get to see the body of the message here. We strip out all inline images, convert everything to plain text, and just give you the bare bones of the message. I mentioned attachments. We do upload attachments as well with emails. You can set a limit of how many or what size attachment you want to filter out anything below. And we also have our own email composer within Salesforce, a Lightning web component that we've built. Nice feature of this is if you want to use a template, you can insert a template on a thread and the rest of the thread does not disappear. The way we match is pretty straightforward. We're going to look at, like Einstein, we're looking at the addresses in an email, so to, from, CC, BCC, and we're trying to match that with the email field that comes standard with all lead and contact objects. But what we can do is build out custom fields to match multiple different addresses to a single contact. So in this case, we have an email 2 and email 3 field that we've built out, changed our algorithm a little bit, and now we can match emails coming in from multiple addresses to one contact. Today, I had a call with somebody who works in the education space, and they have parents that have work emails, that have private emails, and they need all that communication on one contact record. And with being able to build out these custom fields, it's all possible. So
this is really important for our company. We have people who sign up for free accounts with their personal email, and then they're do another thing with their business email, and then we have both, and sometimes we have to do merging and all of that, so that you can match it for both is really cool.
Yeah. There's other ways we match to just past the basic email address to field. I won't go into too much depth. I'll give one example, which would be law firms. So we can do what we call precision matching. We take a field. Sometimes in law firms' case, it's a client matter number, but we've also used the unique ID on Salesforce records before, which you can always find in the URL. And we can match emails directly to objects if we find the unique ID in them. So custom built orgs for law firms would have maybe a matter record or object, and we can match matter records to the matter record field on a matter object. Okay. Let me jump back to the presentation. So I showed off all of the difference between uploading to the activity timeline, the difference between our custom object, breaking emails out separately. Reporting. So we offer a reports package with the subscription, but your standard reports are accessible from this reports package. These are meant to be those broad stroke overview reports, last week's activity report. The nice thing, a little different from the broader report you found on activity metrics, we can break it out whether emails were sent or received, which seems obvious, but isn't capable with Einstein. They don't actually report on the direction of emails that you're sending. So whether we're uploading as an enhanced email or our custom object, either one works. And we can report on direction. And then we pair that in a joined report with calls and meetings here. Or you can do it by accounts, you can do it by opportunities, whichever object you want to make the focus of the report. And from there, your imagination is, it's your world. I'm getting there with reports. I've had to play with this, but Salesforce admins, you probably have a ton of different ideas of how you could use an email, email data to pair that with a report that might generate some interesting insights for your business. Again, I think here I mentioned auditing too. We work with some finance firms, so if you need a quick list of the emails you've sent and received from a single account, you can filter that out and report on that and generate that Excel file, hand it over to an auditor, bam. Show the dashboard. It's the look behind the curtain that you don't really get with Einstein. And customization, whether you're uploading as our custom object, it's open. You can create fields on it. You can use Process Builder. You can write triggers off of the emails you receive. We've had some people do contact creation off of emails that they receive from forms on their website. So create a lead when we receive an email with a standard structure to it, and we can populate fields based off of that structure in the email. I wish I knew more. That's on my to-do list, is to get better at writing triggers or one day Apex. That's That's in the long term. And what I've dug in and found out about EAC is I think it's possible. I haven't heard of anybody using EAC with custom objects in Salesforce, but I did in the presentation I attended, I found the small print below, we can do custom object support for $25 or $50 a month. So that is the gist of the presentation. Again, I think most people have probably used Einstein to some degree. So if anybody has any comments or questions for me, please let me know and be happy to open the discussion up.
Yeah, so we had a few questions in the chat box. Zach, you had a few questions. If you want to come off mute and ask them.
Yeah, can this tool be used to sync calendar events?
Yeah, so we do calendar sync for emails hosted on Google Workspace or 365. And it's a unidirectional sync. So we'll take events that are in your Gmail calendars or Outlook calendars, and we'll create events. And those will be on the activity timeline in Salesforce. I'll show you what that looks like now. Yeah, an event here.
Okay, and since it's stored on activity, does the tool have like any scheduling features, like Lightning Scheduler? So if I wanted to see someone's availability based off the activity object, could I support scheduling a meeting through the tool?
We don't have, I think that's more of like an inbox probably feature with being able to like embed your availability in an email. We don't have that capability now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
And Terry, I think you had a couple as well.
Oh yeah, what did I ask? I guess my first questions, you support Google Workspace, which I still call Google Suites. I haven't switched yet. That's what we use, but we also have like one or two people who do like personal Gmail space, and that's one of the problems that, we can't use Gmail integration with Salesforce with personal Google domains.
Yeah, we support multiple different services in one org. So if you had a 365 account like this org, you could create an integration with that and then also have a personal Gmail account that we would connect through IMAP.
Okay, cool. And I'm from the nonprofit space, so we always have lots of email addresses for people. So that's your multiple matching is nice. And then this is just out of curiosity. The reason this hasn't been like a giant, oh my gosh, I have to solve this problem immediately is because I have this really, really ancient product installed in my org called VCS Smart Email Inbox. Have you ever heard of it?
No, and to be honest, I've heard of what I thought was almost everything out there. So
this product was free, and it was built in classic, like I swear 10 years ago. And I think it's from Chile. And it's still working. And so I don't have this giant problem, but it's, one of these days it's going to fall off the cliff and then I'm going to be dead.
What, do you mind putting that in the chat? I got to look it up.
I did. My question and answers are, and if, and my email address is in the chat too. If you don't find it, I can give you the install package for the, install link for the package, but it sucks in my email and it creates, anyway, it does everything the old fashioned way. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty awesome. And okay. So I've been okay for years with this, but I thought EAC would be so much better. But like I said, it ran amok, and probably it has to do with the fact that users could do things wrong, maybe because like you were saying, it's deployed at a user level rather than an org level. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know. The last instructions to attempt to make it work sounded so hokey that I was like, you've destroyed my data integrity 3 times. Why would I do this again?
Sure.
Because part of it has to do with, I don't think I can turn it off. That's part of it too. You can't configure EAC very well. It's kind of like all or nothing. And so they're trying to be smart and update contact information and details for you, but they I literally had to roll back each time. The product just sort of took off on its own, and really bad things, and I literally had to roll back to the only time I've ever been happy I've had backups, but anyway, those are my two questions, so thanks.
Hey, Sam, just FYI, you're still sharing your screen, so we see kind of like
Double, triple, yeah.
kind of like I'm in, I don't know what, the Matrix or something. So no, it's
I
all
love
good.
that infinite regression thing we can all do on share screen, on the Windows share screen confirmation thing.
No worries. Also, there's another one in the regular chat. Yeah, it's a little, going to these different tabs in the chat is still a little, I'm learning. But it looks like Armand, do you want to ask your question? Or I can do it if you're not. You want to know about governor limits, how this affects governor limits.
Do you mind describing governor limits? I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I think, there's a few different things. Like one first thing that comes to my mind would be just generally API limits, even though that's not
okay.
a thing, but API limits is one issue. Is it the code that gets, I'm assuming that there's, code that gets put into Salesforce. So, how often do you have issues with that interacting with other code and, breaking something, that kind of governor limits issues?
Sure. We limit to 1,800 emails imported per address per day to avoid reaching any of those API limits. And it's a very conservative number. The number of API limits I think each user has escapes me right now, but I know that when we limit the number of emails to 1,800, we don't come near the API limit call limit. So that's how we protect against anybody getting shut out of their org.
Actually, I do have a question. Is there, does it come in like batches, or is it, I think you said something about every 20 minutes. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. Is it like batch jobs that bring it in? Because you wouldn't want to do an API call for every single email necessarily, right?
No, it is on the 20-minute cycle. So we'll run a process cycle, exactly. And so there is an import now button too, actually. So if you did want to run a process, you could do that. I can actually show you. There's no emails that would be in here, but you can click this import now and run an import cycle on the spot, close and refresh, and anything that you've sent or received within the past 20 minutes would then be uploaded, and the shot clock per se resets to 20 minutes.
And I'm assuming this is like a managed package that I install into Salesforce?
Correct.
Okay. Could you show us what that looks like?
Yeah.
Just know how much code there is, and I think that might be more the kind of stuff Armand is wanting to know.
Yeah, I'm happy to. And there's a bit of configuration back here too, I think worth mentioning with MME. As far as I spoke about the two ways we upload, there's a third way of just uploading as just a task. I don't really mention it much these days just because if you're using Lightning, enhanced emails preferable. But from this managed package on our backend, you can decide exactly what you want to, which way you want to upload. And that's quite straightforward here.
Okay.
So you get to pick a drop down, save it, and then we'll begin uploading emails in that certain way. Data management, I mentioned deleting old emails, so you can do a batch delete of anything older than X amount of months going back. Again, same thing goes for attachments here if you need to. If you want to upgrade, if we've changed our package in any way and you need to upgrade the data we've run, you can do that back here. Customizing, this is where we get into some of those matching rules. I think this is just JSON script where you can create code to match to custom objects, custom fields, really, you can get creative back here.
Yeah. So now this is something where if you buy the product, do your implementation team help build this, or do you just have, guidelines for admins to build it?
Our implementation team, if you subscribe to Match My Email, support comes with the cost of a subscription. So if you can explain the logic you want for the email matching or event matching, our team will build out the custom script here for you. If you feel comfortable enough though working with this, you're more than welcome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so just a general question then related to governor limits is, how often do you know of customers, having any kind of issues with, having to uninstall because it's, interfering with some other Apex code or anything like that, or just things, not working, breaking for whatever governor limit possible reasons?
Without being, the developer on the back end, I work in sales, so I would hear probably the first complaints of anything breaking, and I haven't heard one complaint. The only real changes to our package that people do is they update to the latest version. We're always developing, so the calendar sync features came out within end of Q4 and beginning of Q1 past year. So people needed to upgrade to the newest version of the managed package, but we test it on our back end to make sure that nothing's breaking when you upload a new package. And we don't really interact with many of the other objects in Salesforce. So
Gotcha.
Shouldn't expect to see anything else be affected by installing Match My Email.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Oh, good. Thanks, Armin. Anyone else have questions? Open it up. All right. I'm going to give it 5 seconds and say I think that's it for questions. And thank you, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you again for just allowing me to present.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming. Oh, 914. So my old neighborhood. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I will take over screen sharing and we will get to the some of the fun last parts here. So first, before we get to the giveaway, we want to know, are you hiring or are you looking for a job? So I'll start with hiring. Anyone here, working for representing a company that is hiring for a Salesforce role that would, like to put it out there?
Sure, I'll jump in. So I work for PayPal. I'm a product manager over there for the Salesforce instance. We're looking for a CPQ product manager that's full-time with benefits. And then we're also looking for some contract product managers for Salesforce in general, as well as some contract Salesforce support roles. So that would be on our admin and support team for our Salesforce instance.
Awesome. How is it? How is it there, Zach? Just how's it working there?
Yeah, it's going over well. I enjoy it. It's a very good work-life balance. They believe in mental health days. We have one every 6 weeks. They believe in no meeting Fridays. It's a very good work-life balance.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
I have a couple. They're not for Silicon Labs, but I had an old coworker / friend reach out to me. The company that he was previously is hiring to replace him, and he was really happy there. So I said I would be happy to share it with the group. So I will. It's Arena Solutions. So I'll include the link to the job bite in the chat. And then the other one, I don't know the person well. It's like a Peloton contact, but reached out to me about a job at Allegro. So I'll include, and that's a Salesforce. I think it's more of a Salesforce administrator role, but it sounds like they're both open to remote work. Obviously right now, but then long term potentially. So worth checking out. So I'll include those as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then I have a few as well. So my company, we're hiring a business analyst and a tech lead. I'll put the links here and as well as in the new Slack group. Thanks, Zach. And then Chris, I think he's on the call, but he also sent a friend who is looking for a director from Zen Business. So I will also drop those in the chat.
Yes, thanks, Nadina.
Awesome. Anyone else looking? And we can switch to anyone who is looking for a job right now, wants to introduce themselves.
Wait, sorry, I was having some unmuting issues.
No worries.
My company is also hiring. It's called Iquius, and we're hiring for a business analyst with some project management skills. We're growing rapidly, so we're looking to hire someone ASAP. And I'll also post the job description here and then also in the Slack channel as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tejita Paladugu. Sorry for the video. I'll get one in the next meeting, hopefully. I'm looking for a job as a Salesforce administrator. Got certified pretty recently in February. I have a bit of background in Java coding, but I have also been a user for Salesforce. So I got interested and then looked into it and was very piqued by the concept and the support that it gave through Trailhead and the community. I thought it's a very good space to grow. Yeah, and I live in Houston. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And you can put your email in the chat for, if you want, for people to email you if they're looking. Yeah, totally. Also, Andrew Burnett posted in the chat his company Johnson Controls is hiring for a Salesforce business analyst as well. It will be a remote position, it says. So, yeah. So there's quite a few. Okay.
So I'm a business systems analyst lead at WP Engine. I know Chris and Lindsay are familiar with our CEO, Heather Brunner. She's amazing. WP Engine's an amazing company. And there's going to be some opportunities coming up. We're actually moving from one org to a brand new blank canvas. We'll have the unlimited edition. We'll have several integration projects that I'll be helping work on, but there'll be some opportunities, I believe, for some experienced developers and for business analysts. And obviously, if we can snag an architect, either solution or technical architect somewhere, from somewhere, we would not be opposed to that. They pay really well. It's a great company. They also have a very good work-life balance. This whole month has been Wellness Month. Very diverse company. It's fully remote, but they're talking about optionally opening up the downtown Austin office sometime in August. So we would optionally be able to go in there and sort of like work in like a co-workspace together sometime. You'd be working with me. You'd probably be able to help me. I might be able to help you. But if you're interested in working for a company like WP Engine and any of those sort of roles, then please let me know and I can connect you with my manager. He's the manager of business systems. My name is Ryan Dempsey. I'm on LinkedIn, and I will also drop my email in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. It is, I think, Zach had the same experience last, on Tuesday at the admin group. There's just a lot of hiring going on right now. It's an exciting time to be in Salesforce. It's funny because I don't know how, like a year ago, I was telling a friend of mine, I think it's slowing down. I don't know if you should try to get in or not. Bad advice. Bad advice. Yeah. Anyway. So anyone else want to talk about looking for a job? If I'll give it 10 seconds and we'll move on. Cool. All right. I'm going to go to the next. Oh, yay. It's gift card giveaway time. Woohoo. All right. I'm going to let Lindsay take over this part. I don't know what I need to do. Do I need to stop sharing or what, or keep sharing?
Yeah, you can just keep sharing. I'll do the, so I've entered them into a spinning wheel called Picker Wheel.
Lindsay,
Yes?
do you not want to share? It does a nice little emote, like sprinkle.
Okay, yes, you're right. I can share. I just want to make sure I'm on my work computer. So
Oh, okay.
inadvertently. Because sometimes it hops, when you share.
Mm.
I just want to make sure I'm only sharing what I intend to. Okay.
I don't want people to miss the magic.
I don't think I signed up for that.
You didn't.
Do you want me to add your name in real quick?
Carlos, I see your name.
I don't know what I was supposed to do, but whatever it was, I didn't.
Wait.
But you have to enter should we give people like an extra second to enter or?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll drop the link again.
I feel like my section's a bit smaller than everyone else's. Can you increase that?
I just dropped the link again, so if anyone missed it.
Yeah, and Carlos, put your email in there too, just so in case. Then I'll have the right email for you.
Okay.
I just followed the QR code. Yep, I'm right there.
Okay. I guess I should move this.
Do you have to refresh it or?
I put it in there. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move this over here so I'm not showing people's emails. Okay. I got the last two entries.
I'm already a winner. I got my drink.
Yeah, you are. Okay, I'm gonna spin for the first one now. Tracy Wynn.
Wow.
Yay!
Yay, Tracy. She's still here, yes. Oh yay, okay. That's not Tracy. That's not Tracy from Retell Me Not, is it? Just check. Okay. Never mind. Okay. I know a Tracy Wynn from Retell Me Not, so. Okay. So I'm gonna make note of that. Okay, oh, never mind. Nadina is on it.
I got you, Lindsay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then who's ready? Number 2. Craig Lammergazy.
Yay.
Yes, I'm here.
Yay!
Hi.
Congratulations!
Oh,
$50
thank you.
gift card to the Salesforce store.
Oh, great. What do I have to do?
Will
Email from us with it.
All right. Thank you.
You've already done all the hard work.
Oh wait, can the same person win twice?
No.
Okay. Oh, I guess maybe I should just. Nah.
Okay, good luck.
Sarah Herrera,
Yay.
my good friend.
I'm so
Ann.
excited.
Yes! She just got her deployment and development designer cert too. So
Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came. Okay, last one. Sweta is our last winner.
Yay.
Sweta's still here. I don't actually see her. I think it's a must be present to win, yes? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so one more spin. Terry Cole.
Yay.
You're a winner.
I have a new intern starting soon. I'm probably going to give it to them.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
There's really cute stuff in the store right now too. So.
Well, then maybe I'll buy it. I'll use it for me.
And then I don't know who wants to announce that we have 1/5 voucher that's going to go to our presenter tonight. So thank you very much.
Yay.
Thank you all. Yeah, this will get me on my way. I'm still yet to to become a certified admin. So thank you.
Absolutely.
You get to sport some swag now.
Yeah, exactly. Big time. Not quite the MVP sweatshirt that Nadina's got to rock, but thank you. It was a real pleasure. I just appreciate the time you guys gave me.
Thank
That's
you so
amazing
much.
presentation. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for the info.
absolutely. Thank you everyone for coming.
I'll stop.
I think that is all we have for our presentation right now. Is there anything else we want to go over? I think that's it. All right. I guess we
We
will
should have a hackathon and solve my problem.
hackathon. Yes, I know. You know, it's been a while since we've done a hackathon. Well, it's hard, a little harder to do over the remotely, right? I mean, I say with
They're very
internet,
hard to do, period.
but
They're very hard to do, period.
yeah, it's a lot of work. But yeah, no, for sure, it's a good idea. Maybe
I
maybe next year.
foolishly agreed to teach a flow class for the entire month of May.
Did you?
I'm regretting it big time.
I mean, Patricia's pretty persuasive. She's relentless. She
I have
really
no
is.
idea what I was thinking, but anyway. If anybody wants to learn flow, you could.
Yeah, actually, I mean, that's always a good thing. I didn't have on any slide, but Austin has BAM classes, BAM multiplier classes. It's called Level Up. I think it's in Meetup. Her group is in Meetup. And it's remote now since we're not meeting in person. So anyone, no matter where you live, can do it. And it's every Tuesday in May, right? Yeah, Tuesday nights. So, yeah, just so you know about that. You can look it up on Meetup. Level Up Austin, I think it's called. So
It's actually Eventbrite, and I put the link to it.
thank you. Sorry.
You're
Chelsea. Chelsea is a graduate of BAM many times over and a volunteer. So
I think one of these days that there's going to be because Flow can call Apex and Apex can call Flow. And one of these days you're gonna, all those design decisions that you have to make when you're writing code, where it's like, well, it all depends on what they really want. We're making a compromise. Probably you're gonna write a flow that just gives the admin okay, if you don't want to ask that question or you want to change the words, you can.
yeah.
You just give us back this information and it's all gonna work. And I think we're headed towards a hybrid environment that's going to be really nice one of these days, because some of the most powerful flows I write now have this amazing Apex behind it that I don't know anything about, but that's what I'm using anyway. I can match you. I can't show you. I don't have as big a dog, but
Yay!
she doesn't look very happy because she was a
Lindsay's dog. I figured I'd introduce Biggie to everybody.
Oh, yay! Oh, so cute.
Yeah, he's a
Oh
good
my
boy.
gosh. Yes, he was my parents' dog, and now I keep him like 85% of the time. So
Nice.
my little buddy. He's neurotic, but he's a good dog.
Yay!
You see all the doggies up there?
What's your dog's name again?
This one doesn't do. This dog doesn't do 2D. She's like, dogs on TV don't exist. I know some dogs can watch TV, but not.
She comes with Terry to almost every user group meeting, other than the ones at the coffee shop. They don't.
I mean, if I can get an invitation, or I can be forgiven for bringing her, I do.
Very, very cute.
If I'll be arrested, I tend to leave her home.
I would pick one of mine, but they're all jerks, so you can't. But it's great to see the dogs. Yay! All right. I guess that's it. I'm gonna say goodbye.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Yay.